So today's video we're making on the morning walk. Maybe a little bit unprofessional, but that's all right. We have to do the needful sometimes. And the thing is, we really have to, get out of this entanglement we have in the material world. It's really not very fun being caught up in the modes of material nature. That's our present position. Caught up in these modes of nature, misidentifying with the body, misidentifying with so many things, identifying where we were born, thinking I'm an American, or I'm Indian, or I'm this or that. I'm male, I'm female, and in so many ways we're really being, misguided. It's really a shame how the material society is reinforcing these illusions. The media, the newspapers, the magazines, the movies, the music, everything is reinforcing it. It's like all these hit songs in the radio are being reinforced. Good morning. Being reinforced in this illusion. So, what we actually need, what I've realized lately is there is a tendency or desire within everyone to have a spiritual master. Do you know that? Do you all knew that? The desire to have a spiritual master is there in everyone's heart. Everybody's looking for some guide. Ultimately, everybody's desiring to have somebody. Do you know them? Do you all know them?
I heard it.
I don't know if they knew it or not. Here we have Baicharan, and we have these two nice little kids also, Neil and Sheila with us today. But anyway, this innate desire is there in everyone's heart. They're looking for somebody to actually guide them. Someone who they can actually live their lives to. That desire is in everyone. But the trouble is that desire is being exploited. That you go after rock stars, movie stars, politicians. Everybody's looking for somebody to guide them. That nature of wanting to follow a superior authority is there in everybody's heart. But due to so much cheaters and rascals, people become frustrated and they want to deny it. That's why this Mayavadi philosophy is very popular. There was one song, I've heard of love before, but now I just want to forget about love, because love has hurt me so many times. I must forget about love. So people, they're frustrated. They want to deny everything. That's why they take intoxication. They kind of blot everything out. It's like intoxication is like death. They're so frustrated they just want to, make it all zero. It's really a sad situation in the material world. But Srila Prabhupada has come to give us this opportunity to actually become liberated souls. Can you imagine getting back to your original identity you once had in the spiritual world? Can you imagine where we actually were to begin with? We're eternal living entities, eternal youth in the spiritual world, having loving relationship with Krishna or somewhere in the Vaikuntha realm. But Prabhupada says all these followers of Lord Chaitanya, they're all going to Goloka Vrindavan, the topmost planet. So, it doesn't matter where we started off, whether a Vaikuntha Vasi or a Goloka Vasi, it doesn't matter. By following Lord Chaitanya, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, we're all going back to Goloka Vrindavan. Isn't that wonderful? Back to home, back to Krishna Loka. That's really ecstatic. Here we go. So, a little walk around the neighborhood here where we have our ashram in Austin, Texas. We try to be friendly to everybody, and this time of the day, everybody's friendly back. It's a small little neighborhood, not with any big, it's a closed off area. We don't have any big streets running, a lot of traffic running through. So when you go for a walk here in this neighborhood, everybody's friendly. You can say good morning, how are you? And everybody reciprocates nicely. Even I made a little joke with one man walking his dog. I said, "Are you walking your dog? Is your dog walking you?" He said, "Oh, we're walking each other." So, yeah, it's really nice to get out. Papa, these morning walks he took for his health. Yeah, actually a doctor advised him, and he said that was very good advice. He started taking the morning walks. So it's actually very healthy. There's even one neighbor here across the street from me, he's into the walks. He talks every day, and I go out, he's taking his walk. Sometimes we cross paths by each other, we greet each other. He's on his walk, I'm in my walk. So, the real key is to be, one of the things I've learned is be very friendly. You want to preach, you can't be an impersonalist. To come out of your shell and start being friendly with people, you know. Papa was so warm and friendly wherever he went. He was always very friendly, and people, they really liked him. And we saw this in Jayananda also. My dear godbrother was the taxi driver in San Francisco. He gave all of his money to the temple and supported the temple. There's no money in the early days, but Jayananda gave his full income to the temple. And some people called him Johnny Anand, but he was so much appreciated wherever he went. He was very, very friendly. So to always be friendly and compassionate wherever you go. That's, preacher has to be very friendly and very compassionate. Don't be shy. Has to be bold. Come out of your shell and try to bring the light of Krishna consciousness in everybody you meet. Because the devotees are torchbearers, you see. It's a dark cave we're in right now. The material world is a dark cave. And we have the torch of Lord Chaitanya's mercy, Lord Krishna's mercy, Radharani's mercy. So bring that, wherever you go, bring the light of Krishna consciousness, wherever you go, wherever you meet. See, how to be friendly, you see, wherever you go. If you see some lady walking the dog, taking the dog for a little walk where you can pass a tool in the woods. It's a material world. So now we have a question from Bhajan coming in.
You mentioned that if everyone has the innate nature to...
what nature?
Innate nature to surrender to someone.
It's always there. That's why you have these big rock stars and people run after them, like they're running after Trump now. This desire to follow a leader is there in everybody's heart. That's right.
So if that's the case, then everyone surrenders to, or rather follows to a different extent.
Depends on the qualities of the leader. Depends on the qualities of the leader. How charismatic he is one thing. It depends on how talented he is as a leader. But some people are very expert in attracting, Trump is very expert in attracting, they call them rabble-rousers. He can rouse millions of people to follow him, support him and fight for him physically. So some people have it's a material talent to attract people and get them to do what you want them to do. So if one has such talents, then one should use it in Krishna's service, not for sense enjoyment.
So what happens to those false leaders?
They go to hell and take their followers with them. That's what happened to the bogus leaders. They go to hell and their followers go with them. So you have to follow a pure devotee, that's the point. Take your tendency to follow some leader and find the pure devotee, you can follow him. That's what we did with Prabhupada, you see. The hippies were looking for leaders, someone who could actually lead us. And we found Prabhupada. And we stuck with him, and he's taking us back to home, back to Godhead. So, that's the key. Take your, whatever, it's stated by Krishna in the Gita. Yanyaratara sheshra tatare vitaro jana sayat pramanam kurute lokastara nivartate. Stated there. Now here we see one of the neighbors. Good morning. Hare Krishna. So, Yajyaratara sheshra tatare vitaro jana sayat pramanam kurute lokastara nivartate. Whatever a great man does, common people follow him in footsteps, whatever standard he sets by exemplary acts, all the world pursues. See the point by Krishna?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. That's the nature. You can be a materially great man too. They attract followers too. But the best one to follow is a spiritually great person. There's so many like rock stars, people like the Deadheads, for example, this group of people, There was a band called the Grateful Dead, and the people who followed them, they would go on their tours and follow them. They attracted a huge following they called the Deadheads. They would follow them from place to place on their concert tours. They would travel with them and set up camps. And all the Deadheads would camp together, and so it was a whole cult, actually. Of course, they were a nice band. They did service for us in the early days in San Francisco. They were part of the mantra rock dance to help support our temple. So they were nice. They even donated, their leader even donated a stove for our temple in 518 Frederick Street. So we started the same time they were starting, you see. But now we've grown a lot more followers than they had. Why are you in the back?
Just.
How am I going to get you on the video if you're way in the back? So this tendency to follow a leader, we have to, the tendency's in our heart too. So we were satisfied when we found Prabhupada. He was one who can actually live, that's actually make us happy. And see, every leader also, the truly empowered leaders, they are also followers of another leader. Goes all, Prabhupada is a follower of Bhakti Siddhanta, and goes all the way back to Krishna himself, the original leader. So those who follow the original leader, they become empowered, either directly or indirectly. It's the same thing. Whether you're Lord Brahma following Krishna directly, or whether you're a Prabhupada disciple following Prabhupada, the potency is the same. It doesn't diminish as it comes down the specific succession. It doesn't diminish. So don't feel bad. Many people feel bad. Well, I didn't get to be Prabhupada's disciple. I didn't get initiated by Prabhupada. So we'll invent a new philosophy that only Prabhupada is the guru, and everybody who comes to ISKCON is Prabhupada's disciple. They don't understand the principle that in the cyclic succession, the potency remains the same. It's not lost. They think it's lost, but that's not the principle. The cyclic succession doesn't work that way. That it goes on and on, unbroken. All of a sudden, it's dead. Cyclic succession is now dead. You can't continue. It's finished. It's gone on for thousands of years from Lord Brahma, and now all of a sudden it's dead and gone. It's finished. It's lost its potency to continue growing. No. It's still going on. And those who follow Prabhupada strictly, they are become empowered to purely represent Prabhupada. And those who follow those who are following Prabhupada, they also become empowered. So it goes on, continue on and on and on. For the next 10,000 years at least before it dies out. You see. So, I can't ask my viewers if they have any questions because they haven't not seen it yet. If y'all could ask questions, I could take care of you, but this is not online yet. It's just on this walk here in Austin, Texas on Friday in June, what is it? What's the date? The 14th?
Yes.
Yeah. June 14th and 19th, 2024 here in Austin, Texas. Well, we got to keep saying something that lose interest in the video. We keep the katha going. Do you kids have any questions? You kids have any questions? No questions? Okay. There's a nice song by Bhakti Vinod. Yeah?
What if we follow a leader that is worshiping Krishna?
Then you become Krishnized. You follow a leader who's worshiping Krishna, then you become Krishnized. What if you touch a wire that's connected to the powerhouse? You get a shock, right? If you touch a wire connected to the powerhouse, you get shocked. You get electrified. So this is transcendental shock. If you worship a leader who's worshiping Krishna, then you become Krishnized. Transcendentally shocked. You see? What about Neil? Do you have any questions, Neil? Any questions? No questions? Okay. Okay, let's see here. the nice song of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. It's always something very beautiful bhajan. I love this bhajan. I hadn't been a songwriter before. I wrote 300 songs, so I have this tendency towards songs, appreciating songs. Very nice song. Gai Goramadhur Svare. Gai Goramadhur Svare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gai Goramadhur Svare. Grihe tako vane tako. Sandhadi bole tako. Grihe tako vane tako. Sandhadi bole tako. Zuke duke bulo nako. Varane hari nam korole. Zuke duke bulo nako. Varane hari nam korole. So Lord Chaitanya is singing in a very sweet voice. Gai Goramadhur Svare. He's singing Hare Krishna mantra. And then Bhaktivinoda says, Grihe tako mani tako. Whether you're a householder living in a nice neighborhood like this neighborhood here, all the nice houses and nice lawns, everything nicely manicured. Somebody's out there in their yard right now trimming their edges. See, whether you live in a really fancy neighborhood or you're a mendicant out living in the forest eating roots and grass. Wherever your position is, just chant Hare Krishna, you see. And Suke Duke Bula Vanana Harikum. Suke Duke Bula Vananam Harakorare. Whether you're happy, whether you're miserable, just chant. Fill your lips, Vanane Harinam Korare, just fill your lips with the holy name. Good morning. Hare Krishna. So, and then he says, Maya jale banda ye, achomiche kajalo ye. Maya jale banda ye, achomiche kajalo ye. Ekono chetana peye, radha madhav nam bolore. Ekono chetana peye, radha madhav nam bolore gai. Now you're caught up in a network of Maya, and you're forced to toil fruitlessly. After achieving this human form, Ekono Chaitanya Paya. Just worship Shri Shri Radha Madhav, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Worship Shri Shri Madhav. Yeah. And then the last verse, how does it begin? Let's see. Ya Jivana Hailo Shesh Navajile Rishikesh. Jivana Hailo Shesh Navajile Rishikesh. Bhakti Vinoro Padesh Ekbar Nam Rasei Matore. Bhakti Vinoro Padesh Ekbar Nam Rasei Matore Gai. Bhaktivinoda says, Now you've achieved this rare human form. Jivana Hailo says, but Nabajile Rishikesh, you've not worshipped the Lord of the senses Rishikesh. It's a foolish thing. You've gotten this human form, but you haven't worshipped the Lord of the senses Rishikesh. Therefore, Bhaktivinoda Bhajas Akbar Namrasi Matore, just once relish the nectar of the name. Just once. So, my dear listeners, even if one time you can relish the nectar of the name, even once, that's all you need. Wow, isn't that wonderful? Isn't that encouragement for us neophytes who are studying here with all of our offenses, our nama aparads, our seva aparads, our vaishnava aparads, our guru aparads? Isn't that great news? For us studying neophytes who are going through hell here and are trying to wake up our Krishna bhakti. If we can just even once relish the nectar of the name, that's all it takes. Just one time. Even once relish the nectar of the name, then everything's covered. So the next time you chant your japa, just remember that. All it takes is one pure utterance of Hare Krishna to take me to the supreme perfection. What is supreme perfection? Being able to see Krishna face to face. Can you realize just even one pure utterance of Hare Krishna will enable me to see Krishna face to face and realize my eternal relationship in the Lord's pastimes? It's called Sarup Siddhi. To realize my eternal relationship with Krishna and his pastimes in the spiritual world. Can you imagine that? How powerful it is. Just one pure utterance. So, therefore, Bhaktivinoda is wondering, when will that day be mine? Will I come to all that pure utterance where all my offenses are gone, you see? When will I come to that level? When will I come to that level? So we can hanker. When is that day? Wow, it's a nice looking bush. See how the Krishna says, I am the flower-bearing spring. So when we see these flowers, we can remember Krishna. Krishna says, I'm the flower-bearing spring. So my dear listeners, just try to find a way you can always remember Krishna. Take, as they say, every hook in the book. I mean, every trick in the book. By hook or by crook, always find a way you can remember Krishna. Every trick in the book. How can I find a way? Yes. In every situation, yes, by Charan.
So, you mentioned even once chanting the names of Krishna purely,
yes,
we can actually achieve perfection.
That's right.
But if that's the case, then sometimes a person may get a momentarily happiness of actually worshiping Krishna, but then he forgets again.
I mean, he got some percentage, but he didn't get the 100%. He got a summer percentage, but he didn't get the 100%. You see? Maybe he got up to 30% or 40%. Even 1% is something for us suffering neophytes. Even I get 1% of the taste of the name. That 1% is pretty powerful. It's like if a trillionaire, right, gives you 1% of his wealth. What's 1% of $1 trillion? $1 million or something like that? Even 1 trillion, even 1% of $1 trillion is humongous. Just imagine the wealth of Krishna's name. You can't even imagine. Don't stop doing that. It's making noise. You can stop that, okay? You should go Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. See, the rock is making noise on the video. So, see how your mind is somewhere else? The rock. The rock is more important than Krishna Katha. So you have to learn how to tune in to Krishna Katha. It's more fun than the rock, throwing a toss of rock. You see. So
the 30% that you're talking about?
Or 1%.
The 1% that a person actually gets feeling of Krishna consciousness. So
if you're enlivened by a kirtan, you're getting some percentage. If you're enjoying your japa, you're really relishing the kirtan. Wow, that was a great kirtan. Then you're getting some percentage. But you haven't gotten 100% yet. That's why you're still caught up in thinking, I'm Mr. Such and such place, such and such duties, such and such this and that. You haven't gotten the full taste yet. 100% you haven't gotten yet. But at even 30%, let me go for that 30%. It was so ecstatic. Let me see if I can get it again. If you come steady at 30, then you can go to 31, 32, etc.
So a person who gets 100% will not
You'll never come back to material sense enjoyment ever again. You become a Paramahamsa. You'll never return to material sense enjoyment ever. When he tastes 100% of the nectar of the name, he'll never return. If he returned, he said, "Oh wow, I tasted the full nectar." But then he gives up Krishna consciousness. It was a lie. He didn't taste the full nectar. See, anybody who tastes the full nectar of Krishna's name will never return to material sense enjoyment again. Now we're out with the people out taking their nicely manicured lawns and trimming them very nicely with their edgers. Thinking this is a heavenly planet now. I want to make it more heavenly by taking the edger to my lawn and make it more. And we got another one coming up too down the road. The edgers, the edger loka. We're in edger loka today. So that will interrupt with the sound, but that's all right. We'll keep going so everybody can taste the nectar of edger loka. We got more edgers coming up here down the road. So that's all right. That'll be part of the experience, the edgers. Edger kata. Yeah, we're getting closer and closer. The balance sheet building up. Oh, the software will edit some of it out. So, but some of it will surely come through. Any more questions? That was a great question, Bhavachan. Any more questions? No? What about Bhaktan? Any questions from you besides rocks? No? Bhaktan Sheila, any questions from you? Nothing? Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to turn off my hearing aids so it won't disturb me. The edges, turn them off for a bit here. Turn this one off too. Now turn it back on to get away from the edges. There we go. Now we're with the edge. We're in edger country. Okay. Wait till I be on the edges. There we go. Here's our edger friend. Yeah, the mower and the edger. So once we get past all this noise, then I'll take the question. But right now, we're coming up to a wonderful thing, and that's the property we own. I was told it's 2.5 acres, a big piece of land. And I'm going to show you all this piece of land that is owned by us, our temple, so that we can, when we get enough funds, everybody free to click the link and thought for the day and make a donation. Here we have a big piece of land just sitting here waiting. See if I can get it here. A big piece of land just waiting for us to build the temple. If I'm doing a good job of showing it to you now. It's a big piece of land here, 2.5 acres. I'm just waiting for the day we can build. Actually, you put in a request for the city to get permission. Once the city gets permission to go ahead and start something. So you can, anybody like to contribute to help us make a beautiful temple to attract the people of Austin and the surrounding area for Krishna consciousness, please feel free to donate with a handy link on Thought for the Day. So the edges are still going on here. We continue walking until we get past all the noise. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. One edge has been retired. The other may cut off soon. I will walk beyond it. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna. Now we're getting a little bit beyond it. I'm turning my hearing aids back on. Yeah, I think I can turn it on now. And now, So now this reminds me, Papa, see, even the trees have spirit souls within them. There's a very beautiful old tree going way, way back. See if I can get it in the video here. Yeah. Very beautiful old tree. Sometimes I come by and I just... Yeah, I chant Hare Krishna to this tree, because the living entity is trapped in that tree's body. Hare Krishna. To bless that tree, you see. But someday he can come out of this tree body and become Krishna's devotee. So that's our mood, you see. A devotee is the well-wisher. We're trying to be devotees. Devotee means the well-wisher of all living entities, even the trees, the grass, the grasshoppers, the demons, everyone. People out walking in the neighborhood. Even the rascals. The misguided in human society. The devotees are the friend of everyone. That's why Prabhupada always signed his name here, every well-wisher. So is Prabhupada the only well-wisher? Every devotee should be an well-wisher to all living beings. That's what it means to be a devotee. Devotee is kind. He's the well-wisher of all living beings. Even the ants and the mosquitoes, and he's the well-wisher of all living entities. So my dear listeners, just try to be a devotee. That's all we're really saying. Don't remain a rascal caught up in the cycle of birth and death, punishing yourself unnecessarily by going through birth, death, old age, and disease again and again and again and again. Now a question for Bhakti Neil, okay? What is it, Bhakti Neil?
Is a rock a living entity? Is a rock a living entity?
Is there a living entity in the rock? That's an interesting question. Actually, the rock doesn't have consciousness, that's one thing. But is there actually living entities caught up as super souls within every atom? So is there a jiva within every atom? That's an interesting question. I don't remember. You remember any authoritative reference to that by Charan? Within every atom? Yes, what's the reference?
So, I remember Srila Prabhupada once said that there is no atom without the Paramatma in that, super soul in that. So super soul is never alone. He's always accompanied by his spirit.
Yeah. But they don't have consciousness in that level. They're totally unconscious. There must be thousands of jivas in that rock, millions of jivas. Every atom has a jiva sitting side by side with a Paramatma. That's an interesting question. Interesting. Thank you, Bhakti, for asking that question. I appreciate it. So I'm getting a little away from the buzzer, the edgers. A little more quiet now. Almost finished our whole few more minutes. Way back at the ashram, 10700 John Wood Way. Any other questions coming in? Bhakti and Sheila? Any questions from you? Nothing? Waiting for Bhakti Neil to catch up. He has to tie his shoes. So, not only do we have to tie our shoes, we have to tie our consciousness too. See, if our shoes come loose, they'll fall off, right? So if our consciousness is not tied up, it'll fall off too. Fall off the spiritual platform.
That's a good one.
So keep your consciousness tied and your shoes tied also. You need to be in good shape, you see, for that journey back to home, back to Godhead. Now our neighborhood dog is greeting us. Why is he barking? Because he thinks, I am the Lord. Woof, woof, woof. What are you doing in my territory? Don't you read this? Don't you understand this? My territory. See, this doggish mentality of barking. Is it only in the dogs? No, it's in everyone, especially the big leaders. I am the Lord of this country. You see, this land is my land. It is not your land. You better get off or I'll blow your head off, you see. So this lording over mentality, a humbogi, I am the Lord, I'm the enjoyer. It's making a very unpleasant atmosphere on this planet. So we have to, why do we have this tendency? Well, because we're part of Krishna, and Krishna is actually the Lord, because we think, we misidentify, thinking I'm the complete whole. That's the problem. The part is thinking he's the whole, and he's actually the part. Here comes a lady with her twin dogs. Good morning, Hare Krishna. So we have to come out of this mentality, the drop is thinking I'm the whole ocean. Qualitatively he is the ocean, but quantitatively he's only a drop. So we have to stop thinking that we're God, basically. Take a little shorter today. I usually go around the loop here, but since I'll shorten the walk a little bit today. By about 30 seconds or so. No, he's taking the whole loop now. Fired up. He's running around the whole loop. So now another bow wow is leaving his territory. Woof, woof, woof. Okay. So this is a 35-minute video today. Much longer than the 1-minute videos we're doing the shorts. This is a long, one of those long, 35 minutes. So, Hare Krishna, Hare. When in doubt, what do you do when you're in doubt? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. When in doubt, chant Hare Krishna. You never go wrong. Whenever in doubt, just chant Hare Krishna. You never go wrong in any situation. When in doubt, what I should do, chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Okay, here we are back at the ashram, 10700 John Wood Way. Tranquil abode here, middle of material world. Thanks for tuning in. Hare Krishna.